Alright, so I'm just going to show you how to do the brake vac mod kit that we do. It comes with all our intakes as standard, or if you're running a different intake, we also sell this on its own. So you'll get your silicone hose, your right angle push fit connector, some cable ties, and your wiring for it, okay? Tools you're going to need: skinny flat blade screwdriver, pair of side cutters. You want some flush cut side cutters like this for the cable ties, I'll show you why later. And then either a PVC pipe cutter or a good Stanley knife with a brand new blade in it. Alright, so this car over here, the intake's already been taken off. The customer actually lost his brake vac mod kit. He fitted his intake himself and he lost his brake vac mod kit. So the original intake pipe that comes around the back here, this vacuum line goes to it, okay? Now because he lost it, I just told him, well, you just block it off with something temporarily, so that's what he's done. So normally this would have a green connector and it'd be fitted onto here, okay? Now, a big safety thing you need to be aware of, if you look down here where I've removed the intake, I've put a rag inside that intake pipe. That's very important that you do that. If you don't do that and you drop something in there, it's going to kill your turbo. I've had a car in where a workshop did that and didn't realise it cost them a turbo. But equally, make sure you pull the rag out when you're done. Don't leave it in there, okay? So, first things first, this is normally clipped onto here. If yours isn't, don't worry, it's very, very common. You want to just grab this piece here, push in on the tab, and just wiggle that electrical connector off. There you go, okay? Now this side, if you pull it out, you'll see the red tab comes out. It's a push fit connector. So you can use a pair of pliers, or I tend to use my fingers, push it in, hold the red in there, give it a wiggle, and out it'll pop, okay? Now the next thing, we're going to use the flat blade for this. We've got to unclip these. Now these are designed that you meant to use your fingers, but really they're a pain in the ass, okay? If you break these like that, don't panic. Happens all the time. The turbo's here, this plastic gets hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, it's going to be brittle. If you do snap them, don't worry, that's why we provide the extra cable ties, and you can just cable tie it up here. Alright, so this thing is just kind of opened, you can splay it open like that. And look, even if you break that tag off like I just did, it doesn't matter because this bit's still in there for it, okay? So you can use the flat blade to just kind of try to ease it up and get around it, but it can still be a bit of a prick. So you just want to try and gently, gently open it. It's difficult to see. You'll kind of get what I mean when you try and do it. If you get frustrated with one, leave it, go to the next one. Alright, being frustrated is a guaranteed way you're going to break something. So going back to this one, I'm just going to try and gently ease it up. I mean, look, these clips are a great idea as a one fit push in and she's on, but terrible in reality because they always snap like that. So as you can see, I'm pulling it down and it's just coming unclipped. Alright? But it'll just go straight back to its central bit anyway. There we go, so all three break. Not a worry, okay? You just pull it out gently like that. See, if you only break the tangs off and yours all look like this, it's fine. Don't need to cable tie it. Alright, now this next bit here, this is the vac line going into the brake booster, okay? You just want to grab it and just gently prise it. And you'll hear it release the vacuum like that, okay? So you get this whole caboodle out, perfect like that. Alright, now we'll go over to the bench. So, you might not be able to see this because it's black texture, but what we're basically trying to achieve is we're trying to move this from here to here, okay? So this is where your Stanley knife comes into play. Just take this, and what I normally do is I just cut along the ribs like that, and immediately you see it's like splay out like that. Perfect. Do exactly the same on this side. Be careful. Now look, it's important that you use a sharp knife. A blunt knife is more dangerous than a sharp knife because if it's blunt, you've got to apply more pressure, more likely to slip cut your hand, okay? So that's why you want a nice sharp knife If it doesn't come off when it's open like that, just go and do yourself a second cut. Obviously cut away from yourself, not towards yourself. Perfect, so we've got this bad boy off, okay? So now we want this to sit in this position here, right? But because of that extra clip, we're just going to cut this probably about there. No, we're going to do it there for that joiner. So we're just going to take our pen, or if you want, you can put it on backwards like that. Alright, and we're going to do it right there. Alright? These are normally self-ratcheting. Electricians and plumbers tend to have these. You can just go and buy a set of these. I think these are even Aldi ones. Yeah, judging by the German writing, these are Aldi ones. So these were about $4, alright? Had them for years. Been pretty good, okay? Just slide it in and just tighten it up. Now the reason why you use these is it gives you a nice clean cut like that. As you can see, it ovaled it a little bit. So just bring it around like that, okay? Perfect. Now we're going to cut a little bit of this. So you can use your side cutters or you can use a knife. So we're going to have a bit that's going to go on the end of here like this, and then we're going to want a bit to go on the end of there like that. So we're going to end up with about that much, okay? That's it, gently cut it like that. Now look, bit of lube makes life a lot easier. Use some WD, I just use a bit of spit. Alright, and you just want to stretch that over and twist it as you push it on, and it'll go on a lot easier. Like that, okay? Now we're going to do the same with this. This bit's a bit trickier though, because it's got a bit of an edge to it. So I find, get it up and over, just get it to start, and then twist as you push on like that. Now it's going to sit back on there, so we just want to twist it like that, okay? Now it's normally wise at this point, just pop a cable tie over this one. But of course we don't want the back, we don't want this tail end of the cable tie showing, so we're going to put it at the back. Pull it nice and tight. Cool. She's on, yeah? Just give it a little bit of a tug to be sure it's on. Now at this point, this is why you want to use flush cuts. If you cut a cable tie like this, when a mechanic works on his hand, this is plastic, but this will rip someone's skin, alright? You can see it making marks on me already. Ask any mechanic, has he cut his hand on cable ties? The answer is yes. If you want to do him a favour, take your flush cuts, put them really close up to it. There you go. See, you can do that all day long, isn't going to cut me. Always cut cable ties like that. Makes life a lot nicer for people working on your car. Alright? Now we come back to this bit, okay? So you can see on the ribs this is going to stop here, right? So we just want to cut this off, because this part here is going to go back into the manifold. So we want to feel for that edge. Perfect. Beautiful. Alright? If you end up cutting a little bit of the end off like that, don't worry, makes no difference. Okay? That's going to go back into your manifold. And the other section, if it goes a bit oval like that, don't worry. You're just going to push it in to the push fit connector. Beautiful, like that, okay? So she's in, alright? Now we're going to cut another little bit because we need an out bit. So I normally use this section here and here, okay? You want to cut it in the straight sections, not in the curves, alright? So we're just going to go there to there. Nice and easy, alright? Make it round again. Beautiful. Shove this end into this end. Push it all the way in until it goes home. Give it a tug. Check it can't come off. Alright, pretty simple. Okay. Now we're going to take our long bit of silicone hose, bit of lube on the end, same as before. We're just going to twist it over. Alright, exactly like that. Now you can put a cable tie on the end of it, but as you can see, that's not exactly going to come off. I've got to use a fair bit of force. I'm actually stretching the hose before it's coming out. Okay, nice and simple. This end here is going to connect to this end here. So now we'll go back to the car with this. Now again, this is going into a rubber seal, so a bit of lubricant will make life a lot easier. Just a bit of spit. Okay. And you want to just push on it and just gently wobble it back and forth until it's all the way in home like that. Now these clips, we can open them back up again. That one in there. Put that one in there. That one up in there. Perfect, okay? Nice and simple. All right. Now we're going to go grab our wiring loom adapter. Female end, male end. Just plug the female end into here. And plug the male end into here. All right, where the original was. Now some cars, and I haven't been able to work out why because it's not VIN specific, some cars on this, there's two little ridges, so the plug won't fit on. If you have two ridges on the end of the plug, you can just grind them off. I'll show you how to do that on a spare one that we've got. Right, so remember before I said some of them have these two pins? Just sit like that, it's a better view of it, okay? All you got to do, grab a bench grinder. This is a cheapy Bunnings one, doesn't matter what you got. As long as you've got a grinding wheel, make sure you wear some safety glasses. Literally just turn it on. So there you go, they're ground off, sweet. So that's all you're going to do, or you can just use a Stanley knife and just get them off. You just want that to be smooth so you can't feel a ridge on it. Perfect. Now we're going to fit our hose, okay? Dead simple. Just push it in like that. Bit of spit on the end. Twist it as you turn. Sorry, twist it as you push. It's all the way on. Leave the pipe down there. Done. Okay? You can use the remaining cable ties just to fix this. I normally will just cable tie it there to the battery and there to the loom, just so it's nice and neat and out of the way. Job done.